Thank you for coming to the
Real fast,
Texas A&M
please.
Galveston.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you for coming to the Texas A&M Galveston Student Government Association 2015 Presidential Candidate Debate. We're here tonight, 5 to 6 p.m., March 2nd, 2015, to go over a few talking points between the candidates. Just a few quick rules. The audience shall remain silent throughout the debate. You're encouraged to write down questions for the candidates on the index cards provided up at the top. Questions submitted should be for all candidates. If you have questions specific for a candidate, please contact them after the debate. Just a few things that we're going to go over. We will be going through the opening remarks. We will then have a debate period and closing remarks. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open it up to opening remarks. Let's go ahead and get candidate Johnson.
Howdy, Eggs.
Howdy.
I want to thank you so much for taking time, short notice, coming here today. I'm Jimmy Johnson, and I've been in this Student Government Association for 4 semesters. I'm a sophomore merit major here, class of 2017. Hey! Woo! And so this is my running mate, Devin Hall. He's also been in SGA for 4 semesters as well. And just a little about me. I've got 2 bills under my belt that establish my credibility to take on such a prestigious position. One being a off-campus housing opportunity bill, and one other being the Finance Committee Allocation Standardization Act, which helped clear out a little ambiguity with some of the functions with the committee as far as functions and proper procedures. And our philosophy that we are basing our campaign off this year is the make it happen. So on our flyers or on social media, you can see hashtag make it happen. That's our philosophy. It's come from when I was in high school. My ag teacher used one of our yearly mottos was make it happen. And I truly believe that that is a great philosophy, because without that mindset, I don't think you can get anything accomplished. And Devin and I are young, driven candidates equipped with the proper tools and preparation necessary to make a positive impact on the ever-changing student body here at Texas A&M University, Galveston. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and hand it over to candidate Markham.
Howdy, Ags. My name is Sarah Markham, and I'm running for president of SGA, and my VP running mate is Taylor Kraft. We're both current senators right now. I'm the Mara rep, and he's the Mart rep. I have been at this school since I first came here after high school and whatnot, so this will be 4 semesters after this one. And I've been involved in multiple leadership organizations on campus, including SGA, but also Galveston Freshman Leadership Organization, also known as GFLO. And then I'm a current member of SOUL, which is the Sisterhood of University Leaders. I love A&M, I love student government, and I want to watch it thrive. We've both been involved in many organizations. This semester I'm actively involved in 3, so Student Affairs, the Finance Committee, as well as the Academic Affairs Committee. And I just recently took on a new role in the Academic Affairs Committee as the student rep for the Academic Advisory Board. So those meetings happen once a month, and I get to represent you guys in that. And then Taylor, do you want to give your 2 cents on?
Yep, I'm currently involved in the Student Affairs Committee, which I'm the co-chair, and I'm also involved in the Food Committee, which we work with Chartwells, and I'm also the co-chair of that. Me and Sarah, we might be young, but we're both eager, we're both motivated. We're here for you. We're eager to work, you're eager for results. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll hand this over to candidate Warren.
Howdy, I'm Kelly Warren. I'm a junior marine sciences major here at Texas A&M. I'm running for student body president. I've been in SGA for 2 years. My first year I was the Mars Oka rep in the Senate, as well as part of the Academic Affairs and the Senate Affairs Committee and Student Affairs Committee. And then this past year I've been working as the student body vice president. So I've worked very closely this past year with administration, student life, the CEO's office, Grant Schallenberger, said that wrong, who works with Chartwell's and all of that. So I'm very connected to the administration, which is a big part of making things happen. And I will let my VP introduce herself.
Hey guys, my name is Ashton. I have been in SGA for 2 years as well. Kelly and I actually came in under the same position. We were the Mars Ochre reps for our first semesters. From there, I took on a multitude of responsibilities. I was a Mars Ochre rep for 2 semesters, but then I also served as the Speaker Pro Temp, which is one of the chairs of the Senate. So I also chaired the Senate Affairs Committee for 1 semester, and that basically deals with a lot of our internal affairs. I was able to deal closely with our Constitution, add some changes, make things better, so I'm very well versed on how our internal affairs work. But I also, for the past year, have been serving as the Assistant Vice President of Student Affairs, and I chair the Student Affairs Committee. So within this committee, I've worked closely with I'd say a majority of the students on campus, just because we work very closely with every organization on campus that receives SGA funding. So I've had contact with them through the events such as Fall Fest and Spring Fest, which I know most of you have probably been to and participated in. So I'm also the CSAC representative for Galveston campus, which means I also am in constant contact with every single SGA in the A&M school system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now we are going to move on to our debate period. Just a few quick things on that. The candidates will get the questions provided from the audience given to the moderators. Each candidate has 60 seconds to answer the question, then it will move on to the next candidate. At the end of each question period, candidates will have an open period for a 30-second rebuttal. Everybody understand? All right, we'll move on to the first question. This is going to go to candidate Markham first. Why do you think you're the best candidate for student body president?
Again, I don't have to say it, I love this campus and I love this organization. I truly believe that as the student government organization, or association, that we are the most professional organization on campus, and I really want to stress that and show the student body what a professional organization can be. And not only that, I truly care about the students, and I want everyone's opinions to be expressed and heard so that everyone feels like their voice means something.
All right, thank you very much. All right, this one goes over to candidate Warren. Why do you think you're the best candidate for student body president?
I think I'm the best candidate because I'm definitely the most experienced within SGA. I worked as the student body vice president this year, and because of that, I've worked with most of the students here. I've worked with administration in all of the different offices, all the different branches, and I believe that those connections will help to make the changes that we want, because you need to make connections with people before you can make change.
Thank you very much. And now to candidate Johnson. Why do you think you're the best candidate for student body president?
As I said before, I've got priceless experience writing bills, and that's pretty much part of the results that I believe that students want to see. That's correct. And another thing, as a sophomore, I took on the arduous duty of administrating the treasurer duties and tasks, and then administrating meetings and allocations and things of that nature. So as a sophomore officer in SGA, it's really conditioned me, tested me sometimes, and I believe for those reasons, I'm the most prepared candidate in this race.
Would any candidates like to rebuttal? Okay, we'll move on to question 2. What will be the first action as student body president? This is to candidate Warren.
That's a difficult one, but what we really want to work towards is to free up the communication between students and SGA and administration. I believe I already have the communication fairly well with administration, but I'd like to free it up with the students. Some things that we've already started to do, me and my AVP, as well as one of the other AVPs this year, is to create class councils that'll be under SGA so that we can get input that way, as well as department meetings where each representative of a major has to have so many meetings a month with the actual department head so they know what that department truly needs. We also would like to do a bi-weekly forum, basically, with the students where they can come and tell us what they think needs to be changed on campus.
Thank you. Candidate Johnson, what will be the first action as student body president?
Well, it's an easy question. I believe it all starts from the top. How me and Devin and our potential executive board will administrate our duties, and I believe proper planning and professionalism and instilling core values within everything that we do and the way we communicate with other people is the most important thing to me. So it would just be to pretty much improve the administrative tasks we perform as an executive board, and then just exemplify that and show that to the Senate and everybody else. So that's one of those things.
Thank you. Candidate Markham, what will be the first action as student body president?
The first action won't actually start probably until next fall, so my running mate and I plan on starting as soon as we get elected to continue to establish just great relationships with all the department heads and all the administration here at TAMUG. We have already shown that through, we're both major reps, and so we have been the only two that have been acknowledged for every month going and meeting with our department heads to learn more about what's going on campus. And we have no problem expanding that to know what's going on all over campus, not just within our own majors. And that's all.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up to any rebuttals. All right, rebuttal.
And another
Candidate
thing,
Johnson.
our Senate currently so far is doing a pretty good job in communicating with the administration, and I applaud them for that. There's just a few things, so I would say just continue doing that, and whenever they have an idea for a bill maybe, so it's important to talk to whoever is associated with that particular bill, and then just come up with some, just analyze the situation and come up with the best ideas for that bill. Thank you.
Okay, and I've also got a rebuttal on the floor for the ticket of candidate Warren.
And just to further point out, since Kelly and I both have already established these firm communication lines between the administration, we will clear up any clogs we see with communication with students. The department meeting idea was something I've been developing with my fellow AVP. We're planning on implementing it for every senator. We've had several senators do these monthly meetings, and we think it's going to be a good way to also get information from the department heads to us than to the students. We want to implement this within all of our committees. PR would be another big one.
Thank you very much. Okay, this one will start off with candidate Johnson. What plans do you have to make SGA a more efficient organization?
Like I said before, it's about how we perform as an executive committee and how we administrate like what our agenda is, and then we have the Senate go out and investigate issues on campus and then come back with valuable information and data based off the findings. So example, we have a Veterans Priority Bill that's on the floor right now, and the important thing is to get information about veterans and how, like, the makeup of the campus. So that's just one practical example.
All right, thank you very much. This one goes over to candidate Markham. What plans do you have to make SGA a more efficient organization?
First of all, my first and foremost, the thing that I want to change is the lack of professionalism within the branches. That's one thing that I think we should definitely get under wrap. Again, I always stress, like, we're the most professional organization on campus and we should act so. And then I'm going to let Kraft.
Like Kenneth Johnson mentioned earlier, it does start at the top, and so if we do get elected, first and foremost is clearing up that communication, not just between the executive board, but also with the staff, the school staff that we deal with on a weekly and daily basis, and then also dealing with the committee heads, making sure that we have appropriate committee heads that are motivated to do their job, that bring in fresh and new ideas, and making sure that those ideas are put into good use. It's also important to get feedback from those committee heads, and so if committees think that we can do something better, it's our job to listen to them, take their feedback, use a constructive criticism to then do our jobs better. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And this is to candidate Warren. What plans do you have to make SGA a more efficient organization?
I kind of agree with Markham on this. We are the most professional organization on campus, so our meetings need to reflect that. So what I would do is I would crack down more on parliamentary procedure so our weekly meetings are more efficient and more effective. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but it's the proper way to run a meeting so that people aren't just yelling over each other and stuff like that. So one of the main things I would do would be at a retreat at the beginning of the semester, actually do a little parliamentary procedure class, dress code class, how to be professional and business-like in our business meetings.
And like we keep mentioning, better communication is also going to lead to a more efficient organization. If we establish more meetings where we have more contact with the students, they have a more efficient line to get to us, let us know what the issues are, and we have time to turn around and see what we can do about that. Right now, the biggest way for students to contact to us is to come to our weekly meetings on Sundays.
Thank you, and I'd like to open it up for any rebuttals. Yes. I think Johnson had it first.
Okay, another thing that President candidate Johnson was saying, we want to really open up the campus to a lot more ideas, familiar faces. We want you guys to be comfortable with us. We want you guys to be able to talk to us. We want to be able to act for you guys. That's our biggest thing that we're going to stress. And we're really pushing towards that this semester as we have a bunch of bills that we're planning on writing and addressing before we actually hopefully take office. Thanks.
Thank you. And I saw another rebuttal come up from candidate Markham.
And going off of what Kelly said about the best way to go to our meetings, or to know about what's going on in our meetings, is to simply go to them. They're on Sunday nights at 7 p.m., and I don't know if a lot of you have heard, they last forever. So one of my ideas for running would be to have like a weekly briefing in a main area like the flag room during a time where a lot of people are there. So it's an easy way to step in and step out and just get an idea of, okay, this happened at the meeting, okay, cool. And if you do want to come, like, we totally encourage y'all, but at the same time, we know that y'all are busy with your schedules and everything. So that's all.
The weekly forum idea is also something that we've been developing. It's something that I've talked to other SGAs from all the other system schools, and it's something they've implemented as well. And they've said it works really well. If we incorporate any like fun social activities, it's going to draw in more people. Something like a weekly Taco Tuesday, come out, have a taco, talk to an SGA representative. Something like that catches people's attention. We really want to hear what y'all have to say, and we'd love to have something like that implemented either weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, so that y'all can get to us. Kelly and I are a team. We have the...
Sorry, they have cues back there, so they aren't meaning to cut off, but when time is of the essence, we'll cut them off. Okay, this one's going to start off with candidate Markham. What SGA or school leadership do you bring to the table as a candidate?
Okay, well, I mentioned earlier, I started off my freshman year in GFLO, so the Galveston Freshman Leadership Organization, and that was a really cool start to get just a foot in the door on knowing what leadership is at a college or a university. And so through that organization, I got to learn how to plan events and then how to put on events, like actually follow through and just get stuff done. After that, after they kind of let me go, because after your freshman year ends, you can't be in it anymore, they encouraged me to go to SGA, and so I've been here in the Finance Committee and in the Academic Affairs Committee my first semester, and basically just working towards accommodations for the students. We got those new desks in CLB as of like this week, so that was really awesome. And then with the Finance Committee, just working to get better allocations out so that it's a fair process for everybody. And then just this last semester, I got put into SOL.
Thank you. All right, candidate Warren, what SGA or school leadership do you bring to the table as a candidate?
Well, I've been a part of many different organizations on campus, but the main leadership roles would be my first 2 years. I was in the Sisterhood of University Leaders, and then I just stepped down so I'd have more time for VP this year. And then I was also the editor of the Nautilus student newspaper, which is a big job coordinating a bunch of writers, coordinating a bunch of people, including like your publishers and working with student life and everything to make that happen. And then my sophomore year, I was in SGA, as I've said before, as the Mars Ochre rep. I was in the Senate Affairs Committee, where I learned a lot about how to write a bill. I proposed a meal plan bill, that got passed. I helped rework the Constitution and bylaws in that as well. And then this last year, I've learned more about how our school works on the administrative end, which is key knowledge for being president.
Thank you. This is for candidate Johnson. What SGA or school leadership do you bring to the table as a candidate?
As a freshman, I was the representative at large, and I was on the finance committee and the public relations committee. In the public relations committee, we went out and did our constituents day stuff, asked people what their issues were and everything like that. And with the finance committee, it was a roller coaster ride. It's just a very interesting job. I would know. I was treasurer this year. And then this year, I was the chair of the finance committee. And also, right now, I'm on the public relations committee. And on a side note, with the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, I'm a junior vice chairman for the junior rodeo committee, and it's helped me with my public speaking. I've talked to a crowd huger than this one before, and it was kind of nerve-wracking, so. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. And there is a rebuttal on the floor from candidate Markham.
And so just a little background on the leadership experience I also bring to the table. I'm currently involved in the ROTC SSO program, had a few leadership positions in that, as well as both co-chair in the Senate Affairs Committee and also the Food Committee dealing with Chartwells. I also have real world experience. I'm a transfer student. I've worked in the shipping industry as an agent, and also on board ships, so I'm used to dealing with cumbersome projects, a lot like what we do with an SGA. Thank you.
Okay, and there's also a rebuttal on the floor for candidate Warren.
So my leadership experience includes not only SGA but other campus opportunities as well. Like I said earlier, I've been in SGA for 2 years. I've held a multitude of positions, including chairing 2 committees and serving on the executive board. So I have the Senate experience, and I also have the executive side of that. Under student affairs, I planned Fall Fest, which was last fall, which brought about 600 give or take people to this island, and they participated in events for the kids. It was a free event. I organized that whole thing, so it was very stressful and nerve-wracking, but it happened.
Okay, and now,
All right, a little about myself too. I started off my TAMUG career here. I was a sales student, which was a summer introductory program where I met a lot of my fellow friends and classmates. I then pursued SGA as my first semester on campus, and I've completed my first 2 years here as freshman representative. I was more of a listener, and I interpreted how operations work within the committee, and then I also served this year as the sophomore representative for both of these semesters. Thanks.
all right, thank you. We're going to open this up to candidate Warren. What sets you apart from the other candidates?
What sets me apart is just my experience within SGA, serving on the exec board for this semester as a sophomore vice president, which is pretty substantial. I've worked closely with the president and with my exec board this year, and we have a lot of things that we want to continue doing, but we can only continue doing if I stay in a leadership role so that we can keep those projects going so SGA as a whole doesn't drop the ball on those. I believe that keeping a consistent leadership between years is really helpful for actually making progress, because 1 year may seem like a long time, but it's really not. That's all we have.
Okay. Candidate Johnson, what sets you apart from the other candidates?
For one, like I said before, I was only a sophomore. I was it was my duty to serve out duties as SGA treasurer and allocating funds to numerous organizations on campus, and just the number of bills that I've passed, and the fact I'm in the Senate right now, and I'm currently working on bills that will be of a huge benefit to future bills. So I'm looking ahead right now, and there's a lot of good bills that are coming to the floor right now, and I would just like to see those bills go through successfully and be implemented successfully. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And this one is to candidate Markham. What sets you apart from the other candidates?
I definitely want to keep this consistency in SGA. There's nothing that I would do to throw off plans that are already in place. I would definitely want to fulfill those as well as add on more. And I can talk about what I've done for SGA all day. I think my real accomplishment at this school is I have gotten to know so many students, and I take a great pride in that, just to get to know as many people as I can, and I want to know more and more each and every day. And so actually getting to know these people on a personal level is what's going to bring a lot to the table when it comes to figuring out what the students want. So I think that definitely sets me apart from everyone else. Also, I mean, I am positive, I'm innovative, I'm so committed to this organization, and I'm confident that I can do the best job as president for y'all.
All right, thank you. Are there any rebuttals on the floor? Okay. Warren?
Okay, so what sets me apart personally is that not only have I had contact with many students on this campus through working as a student affairs representative, because that's what we do, this committee that I've chaired, we work with students. I also, like I said earlier, from being on the Chancellor Student Advisory Council, I'm also connected with every single school in the A&M school system. On a moment's notice, I can send out an email, get feedback from every SGA in the system, see what works for them, see what would work for us, implement solutions right there. What sets me and Kelly apart together,
All right. Okay. Johnson?
Okay, a little about me as well. What sets me apart from the other people is the fact that I care a lot about the history of this organization, looking through old binders and seeing bills we passed in the past, and just really caring about what this organization can do and what we can actually accomplish. And that's something that we're going to strive to do and push for in the future. That's all I got.
Okay. And then candidate Markham?
I believe what sets me and Sarah apart as candidates, as a whole ticket, is our motivation. The past 4 weeks, we've been working tirelessly just to appear on the ballot. And if that doesn't say something about motivation, I don't know what does. You can talk with us later about what we specifically did. But it's the fact that we have an opportunity, we feel like we'd be a great fit for this. And so why not give our best effort to make the most of this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, and then for this question, it was actually a two-part question, so I'll go ahead and ask the second part now. And we will start with candidate Johnson. Why should the students vote for you and not for the other candidates?
I have a lot of crisis experience, and I really do care about this. And you have no idea, this campus has really molded me. I mean, like months ago, I was like 50 pounds lighter. I'm telling you, this school has really transformed me, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I would not be here if I didn't care. I love every one of you guys. Student body.
Okay, I'll pass this over to candidate Markham. Why should the students vote for you and not for the other candidates?
I've already stated it. I have worked, a lot or hard to have personal relationships with as many people as I can on this campus, and just to try to get to know as many people as I can. I also, the whole thing I want for SGA, which a lot of y'all don't know about, is SGA as a whole, what do y'all do, is I want transparency and to have that, we want y'all to have access to us, and we want y'all to know what we can do, and we want y'all to be able to respect us as well as we respect y'all on that basis. So it's all about just getting the students involved and letting y'all know that y'all do, y'all are represented here, and y'all do have the power to get things done, and we can do it too if we all just work together.
Thank you. And now to candidate Warren. Why should students vote for you and not for the other candidates?
I feel like we're repeating ourselves, but we have the experience, and because of that experience, we already have concrete plans that we are working towards to help clear up the communication lines. We've got the department meetings, the monthly department meetings that AVP Burgeon has been working on. We have the class councils that we've also been working on that will also be implemented by the end of this semester. We have the bi-weekly forums that we want to do with the students, the Taco Tuesday thing we were talking about, where they can just tell us what they think needs changed. We already have these great committees in place. We just need to fix that communication, and we already have plans to fix it.
All right, and I see a rebuttal. Johnson.
Okay, another thing is why you should vote for us and not the other candidates is because we don't want to promise change, we actually want to make change. And we want to make stuff happen, we want to get stuff done. We want you guys to see us around campus, we want you to be comfortable with us, and we want you guys to be able to come up and talk to us, give us suggestions, and we want to make these things happen. that's why I just vote for this.
And the well-being of the students is more important than anything else, besides parliamentary procedure and everything like that. Thank you.
Okay, any rebuttals? Okay.
So another reason why you should vote for Kelly and I again is just that we didn't wait to make these changes whenever we were president and vice president. We're not looking to have more power. We've already been implementing these changes. We just want to be in a better position to make sure these changes keep happening and everything just improves. So we've already been making change. We're not promising change, we've already been doing it. So that's why you should vote for Kelly and I. We have the experience, we have the drive, we're the total package.
Okay, and Candidate Markham? Do you have anything? No? All right, we'll move on to the next question. This comes from the audience. With being involved in as many organizations and leadership positions as you are, how will you manage your time effectively? This is to Candidate Markham.
If I were to get this position, I would still want to stay involved with the other organizations I am in. I just wouldn't want to hold a leadership position. You know, if it's just a weekly meeting and then doing community service hours, I can totally fit that into my schedule. Also, I'm towards the end of my major and I only have 12 or less hours to take each semester while I'm still here. So I don't think that would be an issue time-wise with studying, and then other leaders, or not leadership, but other organizations that I'm in, I just wouldn't see it as a problem. And I mean, I already sit in on basically all the committee meetings right now. So that's like 6 or 7 committee meetings that I'm going to regularly. So it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
And our focus first and foremost would be this position, the president, vice president position, and with that, the focus on the students.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I can't quite see over there, so I can't tell when it's getting passed. All right, this goes to Candidate Warren. With being involved in as many organizations and leadership positions as you are, how will you manage your time effectively?
I have been very involved all 3 of my years here, so I believe that I've already got time management down. Being president would be the top of my list. If I had to, I would step down from other leadership positions I have, still be members of those organizations, because I feel that they are important, and then that is just more ways that I can connect with the students. But president would be first and foremost. And also, much like Markham, I would be in the last year of my major, and I only need 12 hours each semester. So schoolwork is important. That would also be top priority, but I do not believe that it would get in the way of serving as a good president.
And I believe I also have excellent time management skills. All 4 years of college I've been involved, not only that, but working 1 and sometimes 2 jobs at a time just to keep paying for school. So I've got time management down pat. No need to worry about that. I've been doing this for 4 years. And like I said, this would be my top priority as well.
All right, thank you. Candidate Johnson, with being involved in as many organizations and leadership positions as you are, how will you manage your time effectively?
Well, that's an easy question. My freshman year, I had a job during and it was a pleasure period. They made me work during the holidays. So, it's just things you got to be able to make time. That's the most important thing for whatever is most important to you. So, say if you like to play basketball, you would invest more time in that. Or if you like to go out and vouch for a good cause, like support breast cancer or something like that, you'll do everything in your power to make sure those things happen. And as a potential presidential nominee, I would invest so much time into it, and it's my top priority.
Also, just to add on to that, organizations are top priority, along with taking on this position, but being in the student government for 2 years, this has been always the #1 priority for me and Jimmy, and we plan to make it our priority still.
Thank you. Any rebuttals? All right, we'll move on to the next question. This goes to Candidate Warren. What role would SGA play in expanding student growth, and what would you contribute to the to the TAMUG master plan?
We have many committees that are already working towards making our campus a better place. Food Services is working with Chartwells to make that more appealing, to make students want to come in. Student Affairs does big events all around campus. We would want to grow that as well. Academic Affairs, working to get more appealing majors and minors in classes and fixing up the classrooms and everything. That would be something else as well. And then another one we have is Campus Development, which I believe is an underused committee that could actually help expand our student body. People come and see our campus on tours and CID preview, and I believe that it could look better. We could use our Campus Development Committee to go and do like a big event sort of thing just for our campus. Go clean up trash, go power wash buildings, fix up the railings, the doorknobs, things like that. Little things around campus that'll make it more appealing for students who are coming to visit our campus and thinking about going here.
All right, thank you. This is for candidate Johnson. What role would SGA play in expanding student growth, and what would you contribute to the TAMUG master plan?
Extra communication between us students and the administrative departments. So we have our committees. We have Food and Dining Services Committee, Finance Committee, we have Campus Development, you name it. And like candidate Warren said, it's important to home in on those problems, like say, if there's like a dirt patch that needs to be filled up, just write a bill for it, but also make sure you address it to the respective department who could solve that issue. And other things with the PR committee, I'm currently on the committee, and I created a bulletin, and we are going to more effectively disperse information about what's been going on in these meetings, what class representatives have been bringing to the Senate, and tell them give them updates on each department. Thank you.
Thank you. And then candidate Markham, what role would SGA play in expanding student growth, and what would you contribute to the TAMUG master plan?
All right. My goal would be definitely to recruit more students to TAMUG who will come for the major, not just for the transfer. That's one of my biggest things is we see all these people who come in freshman year and they're like, we don't want to be here, we want to go to College Station. And it's like, we have so many awesome, great majors here. And through the Academic Affairs Committee this last semester, we had our first majors fair. And through that, it wasn't a huge turnout, but it's a really great idea that I definitely want to play off on. Just to continue to inform the students about what's going on and just get them the most information they can and just show them what they can do with these degrees from TAMUG. Aside from that, there's lots of other things I want to definitely work towards continuing to improve on meal plans, parking accommodations, improve, and then just like res life issues, we can talk more about that later. And then more seminars for all majors, just to, yes.
Okay, we have a rebuttal from candidate Johnson.
Another thing is, we see a lot of people whenever we go to College Station for games. People don't necessarily respect us as being a part of the A&M system, and we want to make that known. We want people to respect us. We want people to know that we are just like them. We're down by the water. We have a different degree. We have a different view on things, but we're still doing things the same way. We have our own Yale leaders. We have our own traditions. We play all of the same roles as they play up there, and we want to make that very important down here for incoming freshmen to also live off of that.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've seen the master plan, guys, but it's looking really good. We're going to, within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have so much change and I believe so much growth on this campus. And it's starting with the new dorms across the road, and hopefully from there maybe new intramural fields, stuff like that. So SGA's role in that is to get students' opinions on that, take that to the administration. They take our opinions. They want to know what we want to see on this campus, and then they can develop that into actual things, buildings, just things that the students can use, such as maybe a new hangout for the students to use.
Thank you. Candidate Markham.
Just real quick, repeat the question. It's been a while.
Okay.
It was long.
What role would SGA play in expanding student growth, and what would you contribute to the TAMUG master plan?
So a lot of the student growth, as you can see right now, there's new corridors being built, there's a new academic building being planned, and also even a part of that, we have the opportunity to decide if Mariner eventually comes down, what could possibly put in that space. There's a lot of stuff building-wise that we can at least put in our opinion to say, this is what the students want, this is what the students like to see. So there might already be the master plan, but what would be so bad about maybe adding in some more things that would pertain more to the students to make the campus more appealing to new students. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And this is going to be the final question that we have for the debate round. We're going to start off with candidate Johnson. Are you willing to fight for us, the students, on topics that you personally do not agree with?
Well, first and foremost, the student opinion of the student body, the majority view of it, is most important to me. I would not place my views ahead of the student body. Then again, what would be the point of being a president? This would just pretty much turn into like a dictatorship or something, right? So, as long as we get, proper student input and effective student input, that is, getting more than the majority of students voicing their opinions, then from that we can make better and more effective decisions for the student body. And as we create these solutions, we talk to different departments, and they have to approve it too. So it's important that we have this opinion from the student body.
Candidate Markham, are you willing to fight for us, the students, on topics that you personally do not agree with?
Of course I am. If I'm elected, that means that I'm representing y'all as a student body. I do however, think that I have interesting ideas that would definitely be something I want to pursue, but if y'all come to me and tell me what y'all want, I would have no problem fighting for y'all, because ultimately my interests are your interests and vice versa. So I am totally here for y'all, and I would work, tirelessly just to, have your voices heard, because ultimately the president is the liaison between administration and the students. So I'm totally here for y'all as a student body.
All right, thank you. And candidate Warren, are you willing to fight for us, the students, on topics that you personally do not agree with?
I do believe that it is the job of the student body president to fight for what the majority of the students want. If it's something that I don't agree with, but the majority of the students step forward and say, this is what we want, here's why, and we have that input, and we know that most of campus wants it, then yes, I would fight for it. I do also believe that part of being student body president is taking the administration's views on whatever the students are fighting for and making sure that the students know that side of it, so they know why they're getting feedback from the administration, why it's not automatically the way they want it.
Okay, and are there any rebuttals on the table?
Another thing, can you repeat the question real quick?
Yes. Are you willing to fight for us, the students, on topics that you personally do not agree with?
Absolutely. Students are our first priority and our goal. We have a plan ourselves, like Kelly was saying, but our main focus is you guys. You guys are the voice. We represent the voice, and we want to take care of what you guys want taken care of before what we have in our plan and agenda of what we want to get done. That's all.
And I would just like to confirm that I as well know for sure that I would be able to fight for something that the students feel is necessary, even if I personally did not agree. And I know this because within all of these leadership opportunities that I've had in the past, I've already done this on multitude of occasions. So I do know this is something that I'm very comfortable with, and we are the voice of the students. If we didn't already know that, we wouldn't be running for these positions.
Okay, we are going to be moving into our closing statements. At this time, each candidate will have 2 minutes to provide a closing statement to you all. We're going to start off with candidate Markham.
I just want to say thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. It really means a lot to us to just see some people who are genuinely interested in what is going on in these elections right now. Kraft and I have worked so hard for this, and we just can't wait to see what the results are. And we've both excelled in our positions as senators, and we're ready to take it to the next level. And what we're trading for executive experience is drive, dedication, and motivation to produce an innovative outcome. So we want to do much more than just having connections over email and whatnot. We want to have personal connections with the student body so that we can actually hear what y'all want us to do for you as your representatives.
Okay, and now on to candidate Warren.
All right, thank you all for being here. This is videotaped. It will go on Facebook, so you can share it to anybody else who'd be interested who couldn't be here tonight. But I truly believe that we are the best candidates because we have the experience and connections that we need at this campus and at all of A&M system schools. I believe that our concrete plans that we have in place will help get the communication between the students and SGA that we need in order to make the change that the students want, not just what we want.
And our plan includes so many plans for face-to-face interaction. In fact, it's all basically face-to-face communication, whether it's the representatives holding more responsibilities and talking to people. We want to hold office hours, so that way there's someone in that office at specific times that students know they can go to the office or they can go by the flag room, they can talk to that person. We want to do the weekly forums. Everything in our plan is face-to-face, making connections with y'all so we can take it to the administration or further if need be. We want to make these changes that we already have planned out, and some of these we're already working on. We are the total package. We have the drive. We've been successful in all of our roles, or we wouldn't have advanced up to these executive positions that we hold now, or if people hadn't seen what a good job we were doing in our senator positions, which we held first. So for Kelly and I, this is again just taking it to the next level. We have the experience, we have the drive. We are the total package.
All right, thank you. And finally, Candidate Johnson.
Well, there you have it. You've heard everything they have to say. Thank you so much for coming out today. It is an honor for you to come and watch us speak to the student body and on media tape. So I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't be who I am today if I haven't had all the interactions that I've had with the constituents as well as the departments, faculty, and staff. It's really important to me. Your opinion means everything to me. And with that, I'm going to leave that to my VP.
Just to add to that, we really do appreciate all y'all coming out. We really want your support. We feel like we can implement a lot of change and hear your voice very well, and vote for us.
And with that said, let's make it happen.
All right, thank you for attending tonight. This concludes the Texas A&M at Galveston Student Government Association 2015 Presidential Candidate Debate. Voting starts on March 4th and ends at 5 p.m. on March 5th. Thanks and gig 'em.
Ending it, I just
Do you have any
pressed
questions
the
for us?
record button, correct?
Yes. We'll be here till 3 to